Namaste and welcome to day 6. Our last day working with the sacral chakra. We worked a little bit with fragrances, smells, becoming more present, getting into pleasurable movement, and questioning and journaling about our inability to express ourselves centrally, or our reason to overindulge and lack discipline. Now, I'm going to get us into a movement practice essentially working with the hips. I come from a background of belly dance, and belly dance is a brilliant practice for the sacral chakra. Even without the awareness that we're doing something specifically healing, it has the potential to heal. I can cite instances where students and clients of mine who've had trouble conceiving, who've had who've had sexual issues, who have had very abrupt menstrual cycles. Working with belly dance has genuinely helped in almost all of these scenarios that I'm talking about. And historically speaking, it is a dance form that was passed on from mother to daughter to prepare the womb to give birth. Now, because this isn't going to be a specific belly dancing class, I'm going to take some of the ideas from belly dance and movement and apply those ideas here. Now, we're going to try to draw a connection with a few shapes and then work with those shapes in different postures. One of the most simple and powerful shape being the circle. And the circle is a shape that is so dominant in everything around us. And even when a mother is carrying, a womb is carrying, it does become this beautiful circle. So we're looking at firstly connecting with the energy of a circle in the hips. So whatever way this feels right to you, bending your knees, not bending your knees, small, big, feet close, feet apart, whatever way it comes to you instantaneously, organically, is connecting with the energy of a circle. Maybe you feel called to bend down a little bit more because you want to connect with different parts of your spine. And it's the lowermost part of the spine where the coccyx is, and you really want to feel that connection. So just getting comfortable with those hips. Maybe the other side. Now, this is as basic as it gets. I don't want to add anything extra. Like I said, it's not a belly dance class. It's just an idea or a concept that comes from that beautiful art form. So you have these amazing, nice circles that you have found within your own body. And like I said, if you're feeling resistance to this work, especially if you're a man, you want to look at why you can't use your hips. Even as a woman, if you're feeling resistance to this kind of movement, are you feeling it's too provocative? Are you feeling it's too much? Are you feeling like you can't do it? It's good to kind of get into that awareness space. All right, so I simply started by coming into a position that was most natural for me, that just felt right. My knees are gentle. I feel called to move my hips a certain way, and you're just working with circles. Circles are, they do depict life and death, continuity, connection, movement, flow, emptiness. Circles truly have so much inside. There's so much that you can experience from the shape, a circle. And I really want you to connect with that nature, the element of the seasons, the completion, the connection, the roundedness, the inclusion is everything that the circle is. And try to find yourself in a new position. So maybe sitting down. Sitting down now, and whatever you feel called to naturally. And now try to bring that circle back again, that same movement. So it's great if you tried in your standing position a few times. And see if you can come into that circle sitting down. What does it feel like now? And the other way. This one feels very different for me, but it's almost like it's working on a part that I was not able to access before. Other parts of me are opening up, of my hips, of my belly, of my womb space, of my spine, of my obliques and sides. And then once you've worked with this position, try to see something else that calls to you. Maybe one foot is on an elevated surface and one foot is bent. And see what that feels like. To experience the exact same movement without too many additions. There's actually no additions. But without feeling this need to please somebody else or showcase something, instead to really go deep to see what your body intuitively wants to do. Each of these positions and postures is going to make you understand something a little bit deeper about your body. So being very present, open and receptive to the body. Okay, so maybe I'm going to try something this time where I worked in my right, I'll bring my left leg higher, and then see how this feels. The same movement, but it feels so different. It's almost as if it's touching a deeper space within my hips that wasn't happening before. And let the body intuitively move. If the knees want to straighten, bend, let it happen. Let the body lead you. And see what part of you is more active, what part of you is less active. Okay, let me try this on my all fours, which is a very common practice in yogic practice, in yoga. So big circles. And the other way. See what that feels like. And then maybe sitting down here. So I'm just intuitively moving. I'm allowing my body to lead me from one posture into the next. Oh, and this one feels very different. I really feel so much more openness in my hips. And I'd really like to know how you feel. Are you feeling more open? Are you feeling like you're able to connect with that part of your body better? All right. Now that you've worked a little bit with circles and really connected with that deep, beautiful, profound shape of a circle, ooh, I feel really open and available in my spine. I'd really like to, invite you to take a moment to really see how it feels right now. Are you feeling more open in the hips? Is one part feeling more open than the other? So maybe you're more dominantly working with one side and not as well with the other, or involving yourself as much with the other. So becoming aware about that imbalance as well. Yeah? Okay. Now, just like the shape of a circle, we also have the shape of an infinity, which is like an 8. Now, this shape is also referring to the past and the future. The past and the future passing through the present. Yeah, that we're always in the present moment, but we're always moving through the past and the future. And I invite you to feel that shape of an 8, however you feel like it's coming to you naturally. It's not a technical belly dance movement, but just the feel and the flow of an 8 versus a circle. Maybe you want to try both directions, either forward to back or back to forward. However you feel like an 8 is possible to be drawn. An infinity sign is possible to be drawn. And to just see how that works for you. Maybe try your first posture and see what that feels like. How does that move the weight of your body on your feet? You're going to move around the feet a little bit and support the hip movement and see what that feels like. Maybe you want to explore a dimension with one leg up and then working with that and see how that feels. And working maybe in a lunge position, so maybe a deep lunge, and then seeing how your hips feel here. What a great practice. Imagine if you could now start adding beautiful, free-flowing hip work to many of the exercise or yoga poses. In no way am I trying to adulterate any of these styles. I have full respect for them. But I'm just asking you to spice up your own practice a little bit. So opening up into a deep, wide stance, seeing what it feels like here. How does the 8 feel here? Let's see here, maybe a little bit lower. How does this feel to have an 8 here? So the 8 can be in any direction, it doesn't matter. As long as you can connect to the 8. I'm not going to be there schooling anybody or disciplining anybody, because these practices are for you. Just feeling that 8, either front to back or whatever direction you feel, allowing the body to react to it. All right, so this is a fun exercise and really helps us connect with, anatomically also helps us connect with the lower spine, the core, the lower core, and just really feeling a connection. Now in this also you can work with resistance, strength, speed, but I only encourage you to go into those elements if you are warm enough. If your body isn't warm, then please be gentle with yourself. But if you're warm and you're regularly very physical and have a physical lifestyle, very active lifestyle, then you can really explore further and do some very, very interesting things. You could have your leg up and try to do the hip movement. You know, you could have deeper stances on the floor and do the hip movement. I didn't want to do anything too challenging because I want you to practice at your own risk and don't want to encourage anything too complicated looking because I don't want you to injure yourself. But the idea really is to connect with it in whatever way possible. You could even work with smaller movements, really small and slow, but the same idea of the 8. So we're working with the circles and we're working with the infinity. Both have very deep, valuable meaning and exist in belly dance because of the cycles of nature and the cycles of time. And the magic is that they're both so complementary to each other, circles as well as infinities. So really working with that, connecting with the shape, connecting with your body, connecting with the ability to flow with ease in whatever circumstance you may be in. So my takeaway from this exercise is that I could be in any posture, any circumstance, any situation, but I want to still be there with flow, with ease. reminding you that your sacral chakra is connected to the water element. So even if obstacles come in your way, how can you water through it? And water is such a force that, I mean, unless it's a straight up dam, which is a completely different situation, it finds its way to maneuver around. It finds its way to, naturally move, And it's great to be like that, to be like water in whatever circumstance, new position, new posture you may be in. But to find that element of water within you, because a huge part of us is water. So connecting with that water element and applying the attributes or the qualities of water wherever required is a brilliant practice. It's important to know where to be like fire, where to be earthy and find that connection with the earth, but also where to become water, and how to navigate through your problems and circumstances and challenges by simply becoming gentle in flow, gentle with yourself, easygoing, playful, moving through, not stagnating. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've had a wonderful time. I'll see you in the solar plexus chakra tomorrow. Thank you.